Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I am Sally Lemus. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. A young local boy is washed out to sea on the east coast of Saipan. The search continues in rough waters. Also tonight, handguns and rifles are stolen from a Garapan shooting range. And it's lights out at the Eloy Inos Peace Park. Where did the solar go and who is responsible? In sports, the Half-a-Day 5K sets the tone for a colorful weekend. Stay with us, we have these stories and more up next.
What's the move?
When a crash occurs between a vehicle and a bike, it is the cyclist who is most likely to be injured. Here are things you can do to prevent bicycle injuries and deaths. Every bike ride begins with putting on a helmet, but it is equally as important that you ensure a proper fit so your helmet can best protect you. Drive with the flow, in the same direction as traffic. Obey street signs, signals, and road markings, just like a car. Assume the other person doesn't see you. Look ahead for hazards or situations to avoid that may cause you to fall, like pebbles, potholes, or grates. No texting, listening to music, or using anything that distracts you. Be safe and watch out for students heading back to school. Share the road CNMI. All motorists and cyclists should follow the rules of the road and watch out for each other. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the CNNI Department of Public Safety.
Mickey D's McCrispy. Formerly known as the Crispy Chicken Sandwich, now has some respect on his name. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Real talk. The Spicy Crispy Chicken Sandwich should have been named Spicy McCrispy from jump. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Half a day to the Wami and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Monday, May 1st, 2023. Officers are searching for a 14-year-old boy that was swept out into the open ocean at Marine Beach.
Just staying here and looking at the water, really painful, very painful.
Jerome De Los Santos, along with his family, gathered at Marine Beach in Cagman this afternoon as they await for the recovery of their 14-year-old son, Bradley J. De Los Santos, who was swept out into open waters over the weekend. Today is the third day of search and rescue operations.
Currently, we have resources out in the water. We have 5 boats from different agencies, Customs, Biosecurity. We have BCQ, you can see out there, our DPS impact boat, fire rescue boat. We also are conducting surface dives right now. We have deployed divers in the water as we speak. The U.S. Coast Guard cutter is also out here assisting us. We have not recovered anything. There's no signs yet of anything that, could lead us to the recovery of the victim.
DPS spokesperson Fred Sato says the incident occurred on Saturday afternoon. The victim was swimming with his brother and friends at the northern side of the beach.
It's a popular spot, the pool area. Unfortunately, they were struck by a large wave, and the victim so happened to be pulled out into open water.
Marine Beach is known for its strong rip currents. Sato says the water conditions were pretty rough over the weekend.
Conditions you see right now were similar to Saturday. Saturday was a bit more rough, okay, which is the reason why we did not deploy the divers due to the condition of the water. But right now, it's still chancing it with the current conditions.
As of press time, the search and rescue team are still looking for De Los Santos. De Los Santos is described as a quiet and humble kid.
It's very hard, man. It's very painful to just sit down here and wait for the result from the Coast Guard. And as time goes by quickly, the more painful we get with no answers. And all we can do right now is just pray, and we just pray for them to find our son so we can put him into his resting place, so he can rest in peace. My son, Bradley, was struggling, so his brother tried to help him out. So he swam back to his brother and he held his hand. And then another wave came in and just smacked them. And then split. And when my son came up, his brother was gone. And my son, he's traumatized over it. But I had to talk to him and make him understand that he tried his best. He's tried his very best to save his brother.
His message to all the kids?
To all you kids, as you can see, the water is very rough. Just to give you guys advice, please don't go in that water, because your parents will feel the pain that we are going through right now. We are trying our best to stay strong, but it's so hard, man.
7 guns now in the hands of a suspect or suspects who broke into a Garapan shooting gallery and made off with a mixture of handguns and rifles. Police are seeking the public's help regarding a burglary and theft incident at the Bing Bang Bang shooting range in Garapan. According to the Department of Public Safety, the victim had been off island for a few weeks. When the victim returned to check on the gallery, it was discovered that the padlocks on the front gate doors had been cut and the chain was tampered with. The victim conducted an inventory and discovered that the thief took off with 7 firearms, ranging from pistols to rifles. Anyone who may have information about this crime or any other crimes are urged to call the Crime Stoppers hotline at 670-234-7272. Police spokesperson Fred Sato reminds the public to be cautious when purchasing firearms.
Any individual attempting to sell a firearm, please ensure that they have in their possession a valid CNMI firearms license. And if you feel that it's, they're being suspicious and stuff, immediately call 911, or if you know their information, you can call the Crime Stoppers or go on our website, crimestoppers.net, and put in a tip, get a reward.
Caller ID is not used, and you can also send web tips to www.crimestoppers.net. Crime Stoppers pays up to $1,000 for information leading to an arrest. It pays to call. Another tragedy occurred over the weekend. The Department of Public Safety reports a fatal car accident. On Saturday, April 29 at 2:33 a.m., DPS 911 dispatch received a report of a vehicle crash near Coffee Stop in Canatobla. Police arrived at the scene and observed a red Nissan hard-body pickup truck in contact with a wooden power pole. The driver and the passenger were still in the car. However, the driver was unresponsive. The passenger was said to be unconscious but was still breathing. Medics arrived and transported the victims to CHCC. The driver, who is a 44-year-old male, was pronounced dead at 3:20 a.m. by Dr. Elizabeth Cope. PIO Fred Santos says the crash remains under further investigation. As we celebrate our law enforcement officers, we want them to put mental health first. Law enforcement officers all over the world go through different battles every day in the line of duty. They battle crime, justice, and danger, which sometimes may lead to a larger battle, mental health. Police Chief Clement Bermudez spoke before law enforcement officers, both local and federal, reminding them of the 4 C's, which is cooperation, collaboration, communication, and care.
If we care for one another, we got each other's back. And that is having each other's back when we are doing the right thing.
Bermudez says taking care of one another is like a system. When a part of the system is not working, the entire system may be jeopardized.
The Commonwealth has seen so much in the past 5 years. And it's really investing in our mental health. That it is okay to go seek help. It is okay to ask for help. And that it is okay to take a break. And we need that. And if we do not come out as leaders and present ourselves as such, we are not vulnerable, we are not weak, but that it is okay to actually take a knee. All right? Because if we're not watching each other, who will?
Bermudez encouraged all officers to devote some time in a day to simply take a break.
Some would meditate, some would talk to others, and some will actually pray. Pray in your own way, because it is okay.
The Multi-Purpose Center on Friday was packed with officers of all law enforcement agencies in the Commonwealth to witness the proclamation signing by Governor Arnold Palacios and Lieutenant Governor David Apatang.
That is a reality. That is a reality that many members of our community sometimes don't fully understand. But just as everybody else, we are all human beings. And we go through the same process. We go through the same stress process. So yes, take time out if you need to recharge.
The community is invited and encouraged to take part of the many upcoming events in celebration of Public Safety Awareness Month. There will be golf and softball tournaments, family days, and maybe even the return of the famous jailhouse fundraiser. Coming up, a trip up to Puerto Rico, a park that's been dark lately. Stay tuned.
Get your goods here with care and attention with Micronesia Air Cargo Services. MAX is all about connections. Daily flights to and from Guam, 4 times a week to Rota, and bi-weekly flights to Tinian. We are connecting the Marianas. Perishable goods, Home Depot furniture and appliances, even live animals, operating since 2013. Check out our Thursday special to Rota from Guam and Saipan. Call Max at 670-288-6227. If it fits, we'll take it. Premium office space available now at the Hermosa Vista Business Park on Capitol Hill. Upgrade your work-life balance and enjoy a distinctive blend of location and nature with open spaces and ocean views. It's the perfect place for creative professionals who want real results. Call us at 670-483-4750 or email hvsaipan@gmail.com.
It's okay to take a friend or parent's medication. It came from a doctor, right?
Using someone's prescription is really risky. Taking any drugs for which you have not been medically screened is not only dangerous, but taking an opioid that was not prescribed for you is also illegal. Never borrow and never share prescribed medication. Your life and your loved one's life could depend on it. Talk to your doctor about prescribed opioids. Never mix with alcohol, and remember, never borrow, never share. It only takes a little to lose a lot.
This project was supported by a grant from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation. Contents are solely the responsibility of CHCC and do not necessarily represent the official views of the CDC or the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. Why are the lights out at the Eloy Enos Peace Park, and who is in charge of the maintenance? As our Chris Nelson reports, solar lights that were supposed to give the park a nighttime glow are down, and nobody knows exactly why.
The closure of the Puerto Rico dump, one of the biggest infrastructure projects in NMI history. In the 90s, the PRD used to routinely catch on fire. The smoke would at times float through Smiling Cove Marina and through the Hyatt Hotel, and Saipan had a major fly problem as the insects feasted daily on all the organic matter. Untold poison leached into the Saipan Lagoon. The Environmental Protection Agency helped fund a project that both closed the dump and capped it. The project was completed in 2017, and not just was the dump closed, but it was converted into a park complete with an amphitheater, bathroom, and pathways. But now, just a few years later, there appears to be a question of who it actually belongs to and who maintains it.
When we did a closure of the Puerto Rico Dam, that is the one thing that we need to verify with the AG's office. Like, does it go back to DPW, or does it just become part of the public lands? And so that is one thing that we have turned over all our construction documents to Public Works. And that being said, whoever owns the facility, must maintain it. And, I see that there's probably less maintenance that is being put in that facility.
These solar bollards cost well over $1,000 each. That's the wholesale price. And they are designed to catch energy during the day and then light up at night. They're supposed to be immune from power outages with no electrical bills, no trenching or cabling or wiring. The American Memorial Park recently installed them along the pathway there, and this is what they look like at night. The light, while not super bright, is ample enough to define the pathway and permits walking safely. However, if you go to the Peace Park after sunset, you might find peace, but you won't find light unless you bring your own or you got a nice big full moon. All of the solar-powered lights are out, and these bollards act as a simple reminder of the light that once was. This video taken from this past weekend, and every light we could find on all the Peace Park pathways down for the count. We wanted to find out why.
In terms of the lightings, yeah, that should be part of the owner of the facility. But I also know that when the contractor turned over the project to us, to DPW, they provided us a warranty of like 5 years for the products. In fact, like the batteries should last 10-year design life. And then also the LEDs and optics are like 100,000 hours.
That's well over 20 years for the lights.
Obviously, something must have gone wrong, and it could either be circuits or, circuits maybe tying one to the other, or maybe the battery just needs to be replaced.
How do we find out what the problem is?
Well, we'll try to look for or solicit for companies that, are qualified or who are able to or can do the job to assess what's the problem. And I'm sure that we can find, we just need to sort of advertise out there. And first of all, we need to have the money to do it.
Because all the lights are out, it appears unlikely that it is bulbs or batteries. For them to fail simultaneously doesn't make sense. Paul Barron was the project manager for the project. He said today that the problem may be as simple as a contact with a photocell for the light controls, and that an electrician may be able to troubleshoot the problem quickly.
It could also be a challenge with our environment. Could it just being a lot of rain and, it got moist in there and it just, maybe it's soaking wet and supposedly that's part of a maintenance issue, a maintenance plan that a facility has to go through.
While the long-term issue is who owns, controls, and maintains one of the biggest infrastructure projects in the NMI, the short-term issue, at least to bring back light to the Eloy Enos Peace Park, could be a simple fix.
I think the first and foremost that we need to do is just kind of hire somebody to go out there and assess it.
Thank you, Chris. All right, folks, don't go anywhere. We have sports up next.
Need a new phone? Trade in now and get up to $500 off our best 5G devices. Trade in your older phone in any condition and step up to better savings and speeds only our 5G network can provide. Check out our website and catch up on the best mobile experience. Trade in now. Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Premium office space available now at the Hermosa Vista Business Park on Capitol Hill. Upgrade your work-life balance and enjoy a distinctive blend of location and nature with open spaces and ocean views. It's the perfect place for creative professionals who want real results. Call us at 670-483-4750 or email hvsaipan@gmail.com. Hey, golfers, come north and practice your game at the Marianas Driving Range. New Year's local specials. 10-piece coupon books available for just $60. That's a $10 savings. Want to get really good? Come work on your swing every day for just $99 per month. It's our practice pass and you're going to love it. Grab your passes and go straight to the range. You can social distance and chip all at the same time, and the views are free. Reserve now at marianastrekking.com. You can pay online, open 7 days a week.
Buenas sports fans.
Pacific Islands Club hosts a very colorful running event. It's called the Hoffaday 5K.
PIC has several signature fundraising events, and then which we incorporate the fun elements to it. So this is one of those two. And then this is annual event, which is 5K run, but we don't pick winner because everybody wins. It is the point. The whole point is that everybody have fun while helping the community.
the half a day 5K, a lot of color powder. It's called holy powder. It's actually a nut skin irritant. It's edible. It's not poisonous for you. It's nature friendly. And of course, we are not gonna get our community in trouble with our powder. It's just really for fun, to release stress for the students.
We're excited because this signals that a major tourist partner in our Commonwealth is partnering with a cultural organization that stewards the documentation and the sharing of our history, the experiences of our people. We examine the culture and the state of the culture, both in the past and in the present. So. And the humanities covers a whole range of things that affect all of us. And I think it's just beautiful that they've decided to invest in the humanities this year, and I hope that they'll continue to do so.
Hi, I'm Dre, one of the personal trainers here at Goat's Gym, and today we're going to show you a Bulgarian split squat, a fantastic lower body exercise that should be a main staple in your training. Now the first thing we want to address is the rear foot placement. Now whether it's toes on or toes off, just find what's comfortable for you. The bigger issue we want to tackle is the height of the box or bench. You see, when you set up on a box or a bench that's too high, that inherently puts an aggressive stretch on the front of your hip. Oftentimes, that sensation will take away from the working leg, the leg that's on the floor. And when you start to add load in this faulty position, you're bound to run into some problems, particularly if you got some mobility restrictions. So Jamila's gonna set up. She's gonna descend with control, and from there, just stand tall.
And for your KSPN weather report, tonight through Wednesday, partly cloudy with isolated showers. East wind 10 to 20 miles per hour. Lows around 78, highs around 87. Chance of showers is at 10%. Your marine forecast, moderate to fresh trades will prevail in the Marianas through Friday. Combined seas of 6 to 8 feet may occasionally reach 9 feet throughout Wednesday in slightly elevated daytime winds. Seas will increase to 5 to 7 feet by Thursday. East wind 15 to 20 knots, wind waves 3 to 4 feet. East swell 6 to 7 feet. Low tide will be at 12:06 p.m., high tide at 5:41 p.m., sunrise 5:54 a.m., and the sunset 6:34 p.m. And there you have it, Marianas. That is your Monday edition of the news, sports, and weather here in the Marianas. Thank you so much for watching the Channel 2 News. We hope you have a great night, and we'll see you back here on Wednesday with more.